Hi friends, it's Amber. Thank you so much for clicking on this video. Welcome back to my channel, and if you're new around here, thank you so much for joining us in today's video. I'm so excited that you're here, and I hope that you'll stick around and subscribe. So this is my next Christmas in July video, and if you missed the first two, I linked the playlist down below so you can go watch those. They're very simple, cute projects, easy for craft fairs or Christmas little gifts and stocking stuffers, and I do a full tutorial. So same goes for this. Here's what we're making today. We're going to be making another one. So this is the one that I made already, and it is so fun. I'm not sure what I'm calling it yet, but it's going to be something like a Christmas stationery folio or flip book or something like that. But you're going to love it because it uses so much scrapbook paper and it is so easy. Here it is. It is so cute and I love how it feels in my hands. And it is using double-sided scrapbook paper, and if you only have single-sided, that's fine too. But here's what it looks like. And again, it lays so nice and flat, and I loved creating this because it gives you like this big 6x8 kind of canvas to decorate. And so I used all the die cuts and the papers and little scraps of trim. And here's what the inside looks like. So it opens like this, and then this little flap over here opens into a double pocket. So I'm going to show you what's in the pocket, but let me show you the construction of the little flip book first. So then right here is another flap, and I just clipped a page of stickers on there. And then over here is the other side, and this is 3 Christmas tags. And then in the middle is this long pocket, and I'll pull out what's in there in a second. But here's the other side of this paper, and I clipped more of those Christmas tags. And then it flips over like this. You can clip whatever you want under here. And then this page folds out just like this page did. And it's another double pocket. And if it looks complicated, it is not at all. I'll show you how easy it is to make. And I'll show you all the paper, what size you need to cut it down to. Super easy. And then you can customize this to whatever you want to do. You can put whatever you want in these pockets. What I did is I made this into like a little Christmas card or Christmas stationery flip book or folio. And what I did is in these pockets, I put 3 of these cute green envelopes. And I got these in a pack from Hobby Lobby. And then I just made 3 easy little note cards. So these are just cardstock note cards. They're blank inside. And I added stickers here, so whoever gets this can decorate the card with the stickers if they want, or just leave them blank. And these are just really easy little greeting cards that are blank inside. And I just used the single-sided scrapbook paper for the cards and then double-sided for the actual little album thing. So for this one, I used the Sugar Plum Wishes collection by Paige Evans. And for the other one, we're going to be using a Simple Stories collection, and I'll show you that in a second. So those cards just get back in that pocket along with the envelopes. And then the middle part here, I did tags. So there's just 3 cute Christmas tags, and they're just blank on the back to write the message. And I thought those were super cute. And then I just have them on a cute little paper clip. And then this is the middle pocket, and it's actually what covers like the little hinge that I made to put this together. So in this pocket is just a long tag that I made, and I put an eyelet up here, and this is really pretty. It's double-sided, so you can add whatever you want to that, or you can add it to a gift, and it just goes right down in that long pocket. And then over here there's more Christmas tags clipped on, and then more of the cards and envelopes. So here's this one, and again, they're blank inside. And I just made them, and I rounded the corners. Super easy. And then, of course, the envelopes that go with it. I kept it pretty simple, and I think it's really cute. And I also cut these tags out of the paper collection, but you can like buy cute tags at like Marshall's or TJ Maxx or Home Goods or something. They always have cute Christmas tags out. I just thought this was so fun. and so cute, and it's really interactive also. So I'm just gonna close the two sides and then flip this over, and that's the cover. It's super easy. Let's get started. So first I'm going to show you the paper that you need to make one of these cute folios, and we're going to do the cards just a little bit different in this one, so you can kind of choose whatever you want to do, but I'm working with all double-sided paper here, so I'm going to show you kind of what I changed up a little bit with the cards, but it's going to be basically the same, and again, you can customize this and make it your own. So the paper collection I'm using is this one right here, and it is Snow Pine Lodge. I love it so much because it has like some mustard yellows, and it has these little A-frame cabins, and it's super wintry and Christmassy. I love it. And then I just want to show you the sticker sheet for this. So this is the cutest collection ever, and I'll link it below. I believe it's still available. This is so cute and whimsical, and it has a little vintage touch to it too. So that's the paper collection I'm using. Now let me share with you the size papers you're gonna need. So first up, you will need 2 pieces that measure 12 by 12, and these are double-sided. So I prefer double-sided because these are the pocket pages on the sides. Then you'll need 1 piece that measures 8 by 12, and this is the middle page that has the 2 flaps coming out with the tags on them. So again, this is 1 piece that measures 8 by 12, and it's double-sided. You will need 1 piece that measures 8 by 8, and this is for the middle pocket page. And you need 1 piece of scrapbook paper that measures 3.5 by 7 3/4, and this one's double-sided also. And then for the spine piece, which is this polka dot piece right here. So next you'll need 6 pieces that measure 4 7/8 by 6 7/8. And these need to be pretty subtle prints, because I'll show you what we're using them for. So I've got 6 of them here. And the next pieces you'll need are something to go to decorate them, because these are going to be going on some craft cardstock that are going to be made into cards. And we're going to decorate them with the scrapbook paper and then a little journal card on top. So these are the 4 by 6 journaling cards that the collection came with. And we're going to be, for example, matting them just like this on the top of a card. So it's very simple, but it's going to be super cute on a top folding card, just like this. So this is going to fold down, and that's going to be the card. So we're actually going to assemble the cards and tuck them in to go with the envelopes. I'm using 6 pieces of craft cardstock that measures 7 by 10, and I'll show you how we're going to make these cards. They're so easy. And then last, you'll just need some tags for the way I made mine. So I'm just picking 6 tags. These actually came with the collection. There's a whole tag sheet. So I cut out 6. So that's the paper that you're going to need to make the ones that we're making here on video. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started on this really fun project. Okay, so we're starting out with the 2 12 by 12 sheets. And you're not going to trim these down at all, but we are going to do some scoring. So let me show you how we're going to score these. So this is the scoreboard I'm using, and I'll link it below. So all we're going to do is we're going to stick in our paper to where the top is at the top, bottom at the bottom. And the first thing you'll do is score this right down the middle at 6 inches. Then you're going to turn it so the bottom is now at the left, top is at the right, and you're going to score this in at 4 inches. Okay, so we're done with that one. We're going to do the same for this one. I'm going to score it right down the middle at 6 inches. And then turn it to where the bottom is now on the left and score in at 4 inches. Now you're going to grab your piece that measures 8 by 12. So you're going to do 3 score lines on this one. And I'll turn it this way so you can maybe see it better. So top is at the top, bottom at the bottom. You're going to score this at 5.5. Then at 6. And 6.5. So again, we scored this at 5.5, 6, and 6.5. So then this is the piece that measures 8 by 8. This one you're just gonna simply score down the middle at 4 inches. Then you're gonna find your spine piece that measures 2 by 8, and you're gonna put this in on the 2-inch side. So it's 2 inches up here, and you're gonna score every 1/2 inch. So we're gonna score 1/2 inch, 1, and 1.5. So again, you're in the 2-inch side here, and we're scoring at 1/2, 1, and 1.5. We're gonna score these cards right in half. I just cut this out of craft cardstock. So these are gonna become our greeting cards. So we just need to put this in on the 10-inch side because these measure 10 by 7 and score them right in half at 5. And this is just so they have a nice crisp fold when you go to fold them in half. So take the two 12 by 12 that we just scored, and we're gonna make these into pocket pages. So all you're gonna do is just choose the side that you want to be the outside of the pocket and then the inside. So here's the one I made, and this is the pocket page. So actually the front of the pocket is gonna be the cover. So you might want a more subtle print for the cover so you can decorate it like I did this one. Because if we put the busy print for the cover, then it's gonna be a little too busy to decorate the cover. So I think I want this blue plaid to be my cover, so I'm going to fold this one up first. And then of course the other one's gonna be the back cover, so that can be more decorative. So all you're gonna do is just find the score line that you scored in half at 6 inches and fold that in half. You can use your bone folder. Then unfold it, and you're gonna fold that 4-inch score line up to form these pockets. So it's simply as easy as that, because then you're just gonna close it up and take your bone folder and crease it down. And this right here is gonna be the cover of your album. It has a nice finished folded edge here, and this is gonna get attached to the binding, and it's so easy, I'll show you. So it's gonna open like this and then flip out like that. And we're gonna fold this one the exact same way. So I want this to be the outside and this to be the inside. So we're going to fold it in half just like this on that 6-inch score line, and then fold the pockets up right on that 4-inch score line. And then again, just close this up and crease the edge. And now we're ready with our 2 pocket pages. So let's grab our binding piece, and this is the 2 by 8 binding piece. It's gonna be facing down because I want the cute green star to be my spine. So then you're just gonna fold this up like an accordion. So we did every 1/2 inch. So you're gonna fold that over, then flip it back and fold it back, and use your bone folder to help. Then we're just gonna flip that right over like an accordion. So I'll show you what this looks like. So after you do it, you're gonna have something that looks like this, and you're gonna have a peak and a valley. So the valley side is the side that's gonna be showing on your spine like this. The peak side is gonna be on the inside, and that's this side right here. And then you've got the 2 flaps on either side. So the pockets are gonna be adhered to those flaps just like this. Super easy, right? I'm just using wet glue in this precision bottle, and I'm just gonna add wet glue to this side of the flap. And I'm just doing a thin layer of glue right on that side. You're gonna leave the pretty side, the side that we want showing, you're gonna leave that free of glue and just put glue on this side. Hope you can see that. See the glue that I added right along there. I thought the camera was rolling, and I already laid my pocket down. So what I did is I just took my pocket, and the edge is laying right down on that glue. So it's right against the score line where that first flap is, and I'll show you how it looks on this side. So see, we just adhered that right to the right side of the pocket. And then I flipped this pocket down and added glue to the edge just to form that little pocket right there. So you'll see how we do it on this side. It's the exact same. I did think the camera was rolling, So I'm sorry about that. But then when you close this up, you can flip it over and you see that we have our cute little cover started. That's the cover. So next we're gonna do the same thing. You're gonna leave that peak intact. See how the peak is still there? And we're gonna add glue right here to this flap. Just the inside though. So I'm gonna do the same thing, add a thin layer of glue all the way on that flap. And then we're gonna take our other pocket, and the opening this time is on the left, and we're just gonna lay that down just like we did this one. So I'm gonna take this edge and I'm gonna completely line it up with this glue on that flap. Make sure it's straight and even with this page. And once you have it good, you can go ahead and press it down. So that's how we did this side too. And then as you can see, just press it down, kind of use your bone folder if you need to. And then the pocket still needs to be glued down. So all you do is just flip that down, take your wet glue again, and just give a little thin line here, and then close up the pocket. And then all you have now is this peak right in the middle, this little hinge thing. And I'll show you what we're gonna do with that. Seal the other pocket down. So I'm just gonna take my wet glue again and do a thin bead and glue that side down. And the same thing over here for this side. So you can do this at the same time when you did these ones, but they're all sealed down. What I want to do now is maybe snip off just a little bit of this edge. So if you happen to snip off the glue that you just did, just re-glue it down. So I'm just going to give this a little wiggle room. And I just did a little sliver, so that way it closes cleaner and it doesn't obstruct right here in the fold. So my pocket's still good, yeah, it's still glued down. So I'm gonna do the same thing over here, just cut off a little tiny sliver. Make sure my pocket's still sealed, it's good to go, and then close that up. So now we're gonna take advantage of this little hinge right here and we're gonna put some paper on there. So grab your piece that measures 8 by 12, and we did the 3 score lines on this one. And you're just gonna find the middle score line and fold this right in half. Then remember we did 3 total score lines. So you're gonna find this one and just fold it back on that score line, just like that. And then turn it over and find the other score line, so it should line up with the other side. And then we're just gonna use the bone folder to crease that down. So now that you've folded that on the 3 score lines, it does the same thing. It leaves a peak in the middle and a valley on the outside. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take this valley right here and adhere it right over this peak. It's gonna fit perfectly. So you just put it right over that peak, just like that. And then you have another peak in the middle. So see how it flips like this? So you don't have to glue any sides down. You get to see both sides of the paper. And all we need to do now is just add glue to the valley. So I'm just gonna take wet glue again and just do glue all in that valley on both sides. So that side and this side. So now that's all filled with glue, and you're just gonna place it right on top of this peak. And just make sure you have it straight, and then once you have it straight with the top and bottom edge, just squeeze the hinge together to make that glue set in. So see what we did? We just adhered these 2 together. So now we have another hinge we can add more stuff to. But isn't that cute? It has like the cute decorative paper. And when you flip it over, here's the front, then the inside, and the back. So the next thing we're gonna put here is the pocket, and that's gonna kind of seal up the hinge. And it's so easy. That is this cute piece here, and we just scored it down the middle. So you simply just fold it on the score line. So since this is a pretty busy print, I guess if I would have done it in the reverse, I could have done it on that side. That would have been super cute. If that was on the inside, I could have done the pocket this way. But since this is a busy print, I don't want to put another busy print on top, or should I? I don't know. I do like this side too, so I think I'm going to fold it this way. And this is going to be our inside pocket, and I can always decorate it. So literally, you just fold this in half, and we're just going to take our wet glue again and add glue to this flap. So both sides, just add your wet glue again. And this is a 1/2 inch flap. So it's going to take a 1/2 inch away out of that pocket when we adhere it on there, but that's okay because we are going to put a tag in there. So then you just take this and you sandwich it on that peak. And you have time, again, to make sure that it's straight, to make sure it's all adhered, not crooked or anything. And you're just gonna kind of press it down and let that glue set in. So then do this side, and we have the cutest little top loading long pocket right in the center. And then I'm just gonna take some wet glue real quick and seal the bottom. And that's how we hide that peak, or the little hinge in the middle. So I'm gonna take this a step further and use my circle punch. This is like a 2-inch scallop. And I'm just gonna, and I guess I could have done this before I glued it in. That would have been smart. But I'm just gonna cut a little bit out of the top layer of this little pocket. So I just did the front layer so it has a little pull notch. So let's close this up and I'll show you how it looks all closed up. So first thing I do is just kind of close this little booklet and then fold the pocket in, lay that down, fold that pocket in, and then close it. And this is your cute little folio, or whatever you want to call it. I don't seal this down. I do on some of my albums, but I don't on this one, just because it lets it lay flat completely, and it gives it like room to grow. So at this point, if you want to like distress your edges or do any of that, you can do it. Make this your own. But here's the basic construction. So you open the booklet and it turns into 2 pockets here. Then you have this blank page to do whatever you want. And here's the other little flap. Here's our middle pocket. Here's this little flap here. And then here's this pocket that flips out. So I have the craft paper here, and I made some card bases. I think I want to round the corners just to make them look a little bit more finished. And I'm going to use my 1/4 inch rounder right here. This is just the We Are Memory Keepers corner chomper, and I just want to round the corners. So first thing you're going to do is just fold this thing in half. So we have that nice crisp score line on there. And this is going to go in an A7 envelope. I bought these A7 envelopes at Hobby Lobby, and they have so many different colors. You can even make your own envelopes, and I'll link a tutorial that I did with the envelope punch board, and you can use your scrapbook paper. I love making envelopes. It's probably like one of my favorite things to do, but I went ahead and used these because they're so pretty, and I had them in my stash. So I'll show you how the size card that we cut fits perfectly into these A7 envelopes because we cut an A7 card. These end up being 5 by 7 when you fold them up, and they fit perfectly into these envelopes. So this is the 4 7/8 by 6 7/8 piece that I had you cut 6 of. And this is going to fit on the face of the card and just leave a teeny tiny little border of that craft around it. So because we rounded these 2 corners, I want to round the bottom 2 corners of this matte piece. So this is going to mat right on that card, and I'm telling you, it's just a sliver of craft that you can see around this card. But essentially, I want to mat all the cards with the different pattern papers, and then just place one of the 4 by 6 journal cards right here. And I think that's such a cute decorative card. It's very simple, but still handmade. And then when you open it, it's just the plain craft paper, and we will include some stickers and stuff to decorate it. So all you do is just take your matte piece and glue it down. And I'm just gonna glue this matte piece down on that card. So I want to make sure that I put this on evenly. Okay, so I got that matte piece down. That's really cute with the yellow paper and the polka dots. And then I like the contrast of colors. I think the yellow adds a little vintage touch. And then I love this cute little decorative journal card. I'm just gonna glue it right down. So I want to make sure I center this. Okay, that looks pretty good. And our first card is done. So here it is. It's just a really pretty 5x7 Christmas card. So I'm gonna go ahead and quickly make the others. Okay, so I got them all done. Here's all the cards. They're super cute. They're really simple, but super adorable. So now we can load these into the pockets, but before we do that, I want to decorate the cover. So I just pulled a few scraps that I had left over, and then I have this cute tag. And I'm just gonna kind of play around with this and decorate the cover. And then I pulled this sheet that comes in the collection, and I think it'll be super cute on the cover. And then I have all these little trims and stuff that I can use. So this is basically, you just make this your own, do whatever you want. I really love how this one turned out that I did. So I'm going to use this as a little bit of a guide because I love it so much. And I also have the die cuts that came with this collection. So I'm going to get those out. I saved this little sparkly snowflake that I had from this Sugar Plum Wishes collection. I think I'm going to use that. So again, this is just something you can decorate, make your own, and I will show you the process of how I decorate mine. Okay, so I finished my cover and I really love how it turned out. I just layered some paper and the little trims, some of the cut aparts from the paper and the die cuts, and then I added some lace and again the pom-pom trim, and I love how it turned out. I love the collage look, and you can just have fun with this because it's a 6x8 cover, so you have lots of room to play around with it, and I love the snowflake as well. Okay, so I'm going to open this up and fill the first pocket here. So I'm going to grab my cards and do 3 in this pocket. So I'm going to tuck those in this side. So then I've got 3 of the envelopes, and those get tucked over here. So that pocket's all done, and I'm going to close it up. Then I'm going to get to these little flaps in a minute in this pocket, but let's go ahead and do this flip out pocket. So off camera, I went ahead and made my tag. This is the page that we cut down to 3.5 by 7 3/4. And then I just took a tag that I had in my stash and lined it up. So if this was the top, I lined it up like this. And then I just snipped the corner, and then I slide it over here and do the same. So that way you have the perfect little tag corners right here. And then I punched a hole and set an eyelet with my crocodile. This is a 3/16 wide eyelet, and it looks super pretty. So I got this red gingham ribbon and then this beautiful seam binding that I got from my scrap cabin shop on Etsy. So this is sage, and it's the perfect color green. So I'm just going to cut off a little length and cut off about the same length of the ribbon. And I'm going to feed it right through the eyelet. Okay, so I'm going to just grab this and put this in our middle pocket. And it fits perfectly, and then it kind of sticks out of the top. You can see the eyelet with the little notch that we punched. And then when you close it up, it kind of sticks out of the top, and it looks really cute. So I have these cute paper clips. I can't even remember where I got them. I think maybe Joanne or the Target dollar spot. I cannot remember, but they're just, you can use just any paper clips you have. And I'm just going to clip these cute tags right here to the side. And then I've got these 3 to do on the other side. So I've got the tags clipped on there, and you can be done at this point. But I also want to add some stickers in there. So I have the sticker sheet that comes with the collection, and I'm just going to cut a little section of it and include it on here. So that way whoever gets this can use these stickers to decorate the inside of the card. So I just cut off a little section, and I think it's so cute. And I'm going to add it right here to this paper clip. So there's lots of goodies clipped in and tucked in, and I love how this turned out. Okay, so here's our beautiful stationery flip book or folio, and I absolutely love it. So here is the cover once again. So pretty. And here's the spine and the beautiful back. And so here's how it looks all folded up. You could put a tie closure around it, but it does not need it because it lays so nice and flat. So you got this nice finished edge here. Let's open this up, and the very first thing is the pocket. So we've got 3 beautiful greeting cards that we made in the pocket, and they're just blank inside to write the Christmas message. So those go in there, and then we've got the 3 envelopes to go with it. And then here we have the 3 tags that I included. So that folds over, and then we have our middle pocket. And you can put more things in here, your receipts for your Christmas shopping, whatever you want. I just decided to stick this beautiful tag in there. You can use this on a gift or as a bookmark. It's so pretty. And then it just gets tucked back in there, and you can decorate this pocket too if you want. But you see the beautiful, cute paper. And then we tuck some stickers here on that flap, and then more tags. And then of course our other pocket with these 3 cards and the envelopes and our beautiful pocket. Love that paper. So then when we close it up, we just close that pocket page, and our little flip pages go all the way over, and then close up the cover. I absolutely love how these turned out, and I hope that you enjoyed this tutorial. There were a lot of steps, but it's quite easy, and it's a great project to use up your scrapbook paper. All the products I used, I will try to find links for them, including these cute tags that you can use for collaging. Thank you so much for joining me in today's video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you'll give it a try. Thanks for watching, everybody, and I'll see you in the next Christmas in July video. Bye!